Have you reached a point where you're now thinking about selling your web design agency? If so, you're probably asking yourself, how do you even sell a business? Where do you even start? Well, I did sell my agency, and so I know exactly how the process works. In this video, I'll share it with you. Hi, thanks for joining. If you're new to this channel, I'm Rich Dean, a web designer and developer, former web agency owner, and author of the book series Start, Grow and Sell Your Web Design Agency. My goal is to help anyone looking to start, grow and sell an agency to save time, earn more money, avoid the common mistakes and pitfalls, and build a thriving and valuable business. Okay, so before we get into the main topic, I need to add a couple of caveats. First, the process of selling a business can be quite complex, but there's obviously a limit to what we can cover here in this short YouTube video, so I'm only going to look at it from a very high level perspective today. Second, even though it can be complex, selling a business is actually kind of the easy part. The hard part is creating a business that is both valuable and saleable in the first place. That part can take time and a lot of hard work, and most of what you need to do to make your business really valuable and attractive to potential buyers, you need to do way before you even come to sell it, usually months or even years before you're ready to sell. In fact, decisions that you make when you're growing your web design agency and even when you're first starting it can have an impact later when you do come to sell it. I discuss all of this in a lot more detail in my book series, Start, Grow and Sell Your Web Design Agency, which you can buy on Amazon now. So if you want to check that out first before you get too far in, I'll share a link in the description below. Okay, so let's get into the main topic and how you can actually go about selling your web design agency. First, you need to choose the method that's right for you. There are actually several ways that you can sell a business. So before you start the process, the first thing you need to do is decide which one is right for you. Here, I'm going to list a few common ones. Brokerage firms. One option is to use a brokerage firm. So in the same way that estate agents connect people looking to buy and sell properties, and recruiters connect job seekers with employers, brokerage firms are businesses that are set up to connect business owners looking to sell their businesses with people looking to buy them. You'll usually meet with them first to talk through your business, and they'll usually want to know some basic details about how your business works. So what kind of money it makes, the kind of products or services that you offer, and they'll usually then give you an indication of what your business could be worth and whether they think it could be saleable. If you've done everything right and your business is healthy and valuable, there shouldn't be any problems here. If you decide to use a brokerage firm, they'll usually require you to sign some kind of agreement, and this usually includes some kind of exclusivity so that you can only sell your business with them. This doesn't mean you have to sell your business if you change your mind later. It just means that if you do sell it, you'll need to sell it through them. This is usually only for a certain amount of time though, so you can move away from them later if you want to. They'll usually handle all the work to market and promote your business and to find buyers for you, but they won't do the actual selling part. So you'll still need to meet with potential buyers and come to an agreement with them. If all goes well and you do end up selling your business through a brokerage firm, they'll usually charge you a percentage fee, which usually comes out of the final sale price. So similar to how estate agents charge their fees when you sell a house. Online marketplaces. Another option is to use an online marketplace. Again, these are businesses that are specifically set up to connect business sellers and buyers, but these work more like common online marketplaces like eBay or AutoTrader. You'll usually start by creating an account, and then you'll create a listing to advertise your business for sale. When inquiries come through, you'll then need to meet with potential buyers and work towards agreeing a sale. Compared to brokerage firms, which usually offer a more personal and handheld service, online marketplaces can feel less personal, though some do have their own brokers or account managers on hand to help if you need them to. Online marketplaces still have their fees too. They can be cheaper than brokerage firms, but not always, so be sure to thoroughly research any options you're considering so that you know exactly how much they'll cost. Some have tools to help you work out how much your business could be worth, but in general, you'll probably have to do more of the work to actually advertise and market your business. With brokerage firms, you'll usually just give them your business's financial data and they'll then produce all the marketing materials for you. But with online marketplaces, you'll usually need to do this all yourself, so there can be more work involved overall. But because they're online, they can have a much wider reach, and you may be able to get your business in front of people from all over the world. Online marketplaces can be quicker too. You could have your account up and running and your business listed in just a few hours, which can be good if you want to move quickly. Business contacts. If the thought of publicly advertising your business and having to do lots of work to market and promote it is off-putting, or if you don't want to sell to a complete stranger, then another option could be to sell your business to contacts or associates that you already know. If you run your web design agency for a while, then you've probably built up quite a big network of contacts, and many of these will also be business owners and entrepreneurs who might be interested in buying your business. Now, there are pros and cons to this approach. On the one hand, if you already know someone, then it can be a much easier process as you won't need to do all the work to create the marketing materials and then to arrange lots of meetings with potential buyers. Selling to someone that you know can also feel more comfortable. You'll already know them and they will already know your business. So you should have a good level of trust already. You'll still need to give them lots of information and data about your business so that they know exactly what they're buying. And you'll still need to negotiate a sale price that you're both happy with. But overall, it can be less pressured. And you also won't need to pay the same kind of fees as you would with a brokerage firm or an online marketplace. But there are downsides too. Confidentiality will probably be important to you, so you'll need to find someone who you know you can trust, especially if you don't want the whole world to know that you're selling your business. It may also be harder to actually find a buyer, especially compared to brokerage firms and online marketplaces who will usually have a wider reach. So if you want to have lots of potential buyers so that you can pick and choose, then those options may be more appropriate. It's also worth thinking about what would happen if things go wrong and the deal falls through. You may not want to lose a friend if things don't work out. Your employees. If you have a team, then selling to them could be another option. Like selling to business contacts, selling this way means you can also bypass all the work of marketing and promoting your business and meeting with lots of buyers. And you can also avoid those brokerage or marketplace fees. But again, there are also pros and cons to this approach. A positive is that your employees will already be invested in your business and they will know it a lot better than any potential buyer. However, you still need to tell them that you're thinking about selling your business, which could unsettle them, and they may not necessarily want to buy it from you. Even if they do, you'll need to make sure that everyone is on the same page, as they may not have the same level of business knowledge or understanding that you do. So you'll need to make sure that everyone completely understands what they're getting into. So there are other ways you can sell a business, but these are probably the most common ones. Once you've chosen a method that's right for you, you can then start the process of actually selling your web design agency. And this breaks down into 7 main parts. But before we get into those, please don't forget to like and subscribe. We're only a small channel, so this will really help us out. So the first part is to list your business for sale. If you choose to use a brokerage firm or an online marketplace, then the first thing you'll need to do will be to list your business for sale. This will include things like getting all your financial data together so that potential buyers can understand how your business works, creating marketing materials to actually advertise and promote your business, and listing it online. As I mentioned earlier, if you use a brokerage firm, they may help you with a lot of this. You'll need to give potential buyers as much information as possible so that they can decide if your business is something that they're interested in. Obviously, you'll want to keep most of this confidential, but they'll want to see things like what kind of markets you operate in, what services you offer, your revenue and profit for many years, how big your team is, whether you have an office, and many other aspects. Step 2, meet with potential buyers. Once your web agency is listed for sale, it shouldn't be too long before you start getting potential buyers who want to find out more. So this is your chance to meet with them and really sell your agency and why they should buy it. You can do this via video call, or you can meet in person if you're close enough to them. I'd recommend meeting with as many potential buyers as possible. Each one will have their own thoughts about what they're looking for and what they think your business is worth. And not all of them will be right for you. So it's important that you have enough of a selection that you can filter out the ones that just don't work for you. Step 3, agree an offer. Hopefully, if your sales meetings go well, you'll start to receive formal offers for your business. If you do, then this in itself is a great achievement. You won't have sold your business yet, but you should still congratulate yourself for getting this far. Hopefully, you'll have multiple offers so that you can choose the one that's right for you. But don't forget, it's not always about getting the most money. You might want to consider other factors, like if you think the buyer will be the right person to take over your business and work with your team, and even if you get the right feel for them. You don't need to accept any offers if you don't want to, so take your time and choose the one that's right for you. Step 4, sign heads of terms. Usually, once you agree an offer with a buyer, you'll both sign something called a heads of terms. This isn't the same as a formal sale contract, and at this stage you still haven't sold your business yet, but the heads of terms usually outline the basics of the sale, such as the agreed price, who's selling to who, any agreed payment terms, any time limits, and various other aspects. They're usually drawn up by the buyer or their solicitors, and as there are legal aspects, this is where you may want to get proper legal assistance to make sure you're covered and that everything is okay from a legal perspective. Step 5. Enlist a solicitor and an accountant. You can't really sell a business without a solicitor and an accountant, and in fact, I can't really think of a situation where you would. So once you've come to an agreement with your buyers, you'll need to find a good solicitor and accountant to help you through the sale. Your accountant may not need to be involved straight away, though it will be good to have them ready. Your buyer solicitors will usually draw up and supply a proper sale contract, and this can be a very complex legal document, so your solicitor will need to work with the buyers and the solicitors to make sure everything is okay. Business sales are quite a niche area, so ideally, if you can find a solicitor and an accountant that have specific experience in working on business sales, that would be a bonus. Step 6, the sale process. The part where your solicitors and accountants work through the legal sale is by far the most complex part, and it can also take a long time, usually months, but sometimes even years. There will be a lot of back and forth as everyone involved works through all the complex areas, and you'll also need to give your buyers all the information that you can. When you listed your business for sale, you would have given them a certain amount of data and information, but that will be limited. And so now that you're going through the full sale process, you'll need to give them all the information that you can. There could be legal ramifications if you don't supply all the information that the buyer needs. So again, speak to your solicitors to make sure you give them everything that you need to. Step 7, completion. This part may feel like a long time coming, but once your solicitors and accountants have worked through the sale agreement and everyone is happy, then the sale can complete. At this point, the ownership of your business will transfer to your buyers and it will no longer be yours. It will be hard work, but if you get this far, then you should give yourself a huge congratulations, as you will have achieved something that not many business owners do. So this has been a very top level overview of how you can sell a web design agency. If you've enjoyed this video, then please don't forget to like and subscribe, as it really helps us out. And as I said at the start, there's a lot more to all of this than just what I've covered in this video. I discuss this and many other topics in my book series, Start, Grow and Sell Your Web Design Agency, which you can purchase from Amazon now, and I'll share a link in the description below. And if you'd like to watch more informative content, then why not try this video here. Thanks again for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.